War. There will be war and rumors of war, but it will not yet be the end. I'm speaking on this topic today because I happened to see a clip when I opened my Instagram this morning of a man talking about, he asked Alexa who was going to be the next president, and it told him that there wasn't going to be an election because they were going to invoke the War Powers Act. And I'm not sure what that entails, but I'm guessing it entails that there can't be an election if we're in the middle of a war, maybe. And then the next clip, they show one of the big battleships or aircraft carriers heading over to Israel or somewhere. And these creators want you to be afraid the same as the media does. Now, it doesn't mean they're bad people, but they want you to watch their clips. Got me to watch that first one, and it actually got me to make this video. And of course, I want you to watch my clips too, or my videos also. But I've been here 63 years, not as long as some, but longer than some of you. And I grew up when Cuba had the missiles aimed at the U.S., and there was the Cold War, and Russia and the U.S. were on the brink of nuclear holocaust. So when I was in first grade, they were having us duck and cover. Like that was going to do any good if we had a nuclear war. I tell you what it did do, it scared the hell out of us, right? So I grew up with this fear that what's the point? The world's going to go to hell anyway. We're going to kill ourselves and destroy the world, etc., etc. Because that was programmed into me and other kids also. But that's the way it affected me. And the reason I'm making this too is so for you younger men, do not let this deter you from achieving or seeking or pursuing your vision and your goals. This has been going on since before I was born and will continue to go on long after I'm gone, and probably after you're gone also. Now, does that mean there's not going to be a war? I don't know. Who knows? Alexa doesn't know. Nobody knows. Because no one except God knows the future. I don't, you don't, they don't. AI doesn't know. But don't let this control you. You see what fear did in the last 2 or 3 years with this sickness that went around the world? What was the real sickness? It was the fear. The fear was the real sickness. That probably destroyed more people than anything else. I know it really hurt the livelihood of millions of people. And yet, the elite prospered. I don't consider myself elite, but I prospered also because I didn't participate in it. But it hurt a lot of people, and a lot of people are still suffering from it. The regular people who have to go work a job every day, who can't raise their income as they wish to meet the demands of this inflation. They're still suffering for that, from all the free money that they gave away. Fear. People participated because they were afraid, because they believed what they saw on the screen instead of what they saw with their own eyes. I've talked to 3 people who were directly involved in the healthcare profession, in the hospitals, and they did not see what the media was telling us was happening. Isn't that strange? But when they have you trapped behind a screen in your house, that's all you know. Don't believe what the news tells you. I heard a clip the other day. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and this was written, 75, 100 years ago. Scare headlines in the newspapers. And this gentleman was talking about the same thing that we have today, except it was newspapers back then. The only difference now is they have more reach, and it's a world network, so to speak. Even what I put out here can be seen by anybody in the world who has a cell phone. And most people in the world have a cell phone. Don't believe anything I tell you. Just take what I tell you and implement it in your life. And if it works for you, or verify what I tell you by being open-minded and looking around. Don't let the screen or newspapers or anybody influence how you live your life. Take the information that you decide to listen to, but verify it by your outer world. Now, that's what I did in this last 2 or 3 years when we had the, whatever you want to call it, where everything was shut down. Now, at first, I was a little nervous, and I would come home and wash my hands after I shook hands with people or whatever. But after a short period of time, I wasn't seeing, there was no congruency in what the screens were saying, the media was saying, and what everyone was saying on the news, the social media, different things like that, with what, there was no congruency with what I was seeing and what they were saying. We can't believe everything we see or hear through the media outlets. I'm sure you know that. And even if they were telling the truth to the best of their ability, it's still slanted and distorted by their perception. Think about it when they talk about the war. I happened to be in someone's house yesterday, and they had the CNN on, or MSNBC, one of those news channels. I don't watch TV. I haven't for years. And the way they talk about it, warships have been moved over to Israel, and they dramatize. It's like a horror movie anyway, they put a lot of drama into it. They want to pull you in with that fear to get you to continue to watch, because they want to keep the ratings up. So they have a motive. And how many times have they told us things on the mainline news medias that later on became not true, misinformation? And yet, because we have social media and you and I can get on here and actually talk to people in the world too, people like us who had told a different narrative or a different version were considered misinformation, were considered to be spreading misinformation. My whole point of this video is to not believe everything that you hear to the point where you allow it to discourage you, to make you feel like, what's the point? Because I did grow up in that era, and I'm still here. And more than likely, you'll still be here too when you're my age. So don't allow that to stop you. Be encouraged. Do I feel fear when I see things like them talking like there's going to be the war and all that? Yes. Even though I don't watch TV, I can't stay away from it completely. Now, of course, I know I'm not going to have to go to war unless they come here. But I was worried about that when I was younger, because Vietnam War was still going on when I was like 13. But I have 5 sons who are just at that age, and I certainly don't want them to fight what they would say for the U.S., because I don't believe our wars now, past World War II, if that one was even for the freedom, which I think it was. I don't believe these wars have anything to do with freedom or democracy or the common man. I believe it has a lot to do with the war machine, big business, big government, and I certainly don't want my boys to be risking their lives for that. So be encouraged today. Continue to press on towards your vision, towards your goals. And the best advice I can give you is don't click on those videos. I didn't click on that one this morning, but I did read the subtitles in there. So, because as I said, these people want you to watch what their videos, and the news media, they want you to watch. So they know how to play on your emotions. Don't allow that to happen. Keep your eyes, keep your mind, keep everything focused on your vision, your goals, your dream, and pursue that, and ignore and negate all the other bullcrap that's out there. All right, I'm out of here. Take care. Hit that like button, subscribe. Have a great day, and press on.